Hello children, how are you all? Today we are talking about a new topic, heredity. Okay? This is the 8th chapter in our textbook, heredity. After completing 7th lesson, we have started 8th lesson today, that is heredity. Okay, let us know what is heredity first. Heredity is transmission of characters. Transmission of characters from one generation to another generation. That is from parent to offsprings. Okay, this process is called as heredity. You might have seen that some of your features are similar to your father and some of your features are similar to your mother. This happens with every child. Why? Because the genetic information that is present in the parents is passing to the next generation through the nucleus that is present in the zygote. The transfer of information occurs. Okay. So this genetic information carries the characters of parents and those characters are developing the new generation. This is clear. This is a known topic. Okay. To some extent it is a known topic. Now I'll ask you one question. Did you see some features which are not present in your mother? Your mother don't have that characters, but your grandmother has that characters. So if genetic information has passed from grandmother to mother, from mother to child, then this child should have same features as mother and mother should have same features as grandmother. Why is it happening that some features which are not present in mother directly from grandmother to child? How is it possible? Okay. First question. This is first question. We'll understand. We'll get the answer for this question once we move further in the lesson. We'll study the experiments in this lesson. After that, we can understand what is the reason for that. Okay. I'll ask you one more question here. You can see your sister and yourself. There are differences between your sister and you. Her eyes are not similar to your eyes. Her nose is not similar to your nose. Even both are from same parents. Why? What is the reason? If you come to your class and see your friends, each one is having different eyes, each one is having different nose. We are all same species, right? Then why is this difference? Why should be the difference between same species? Yeah, it is present in all the organisms, not only in human beings. You can compare one neem tree's leaves with other neem tree's leaves. You take one small branch from neem tree's leaf and compare with other neem tree's leaf. Sometimes one is small, sometimes one is large, which is one plant is a little more darker in color, other plant is lighter in color. There are some common differences. These differences, which are seen in one species of organisms, are called as variations. Variations are differences in same species. Differences in same species. Do you find it interesting to know why these differences develop? But one scientist felt very eager to know why these differences occur. His name is Gregor Mendel. Gregor Mendel is a monk in the monastery. What do you mean by monk? The church, Christians, father he works in a church. Okay, he's a monk. He got interested in understanding plants. Gregor Mendel. So this scientist, he works as a monk. So in his church there was quite enough place for growth of plants. Usually church have places for growing attractive plants and all. So this person, when he was observing various plants, same species plants, he saw there are differences between plants of same species. One plant is having somewhat darker flowers, other plant is having somewhat lighter flowers. leaves are somewhat dark, leaves are small. These small differences between same species plants made him very eager. So he selected a pea plant. So he decided to do experiments, and his experiments continued for 5 years. For 5 years continuously he did experiments on pea plants. Why did he choose pea plant for doing these experiments is, one is this is annual plant. It gives flowers once in a year. It is an annual plant. Second one is it has well-defined characters. Well-defined characters. Like some flowers were purple color, some flowers were white color. There is no intermediate. So definitely either it is a purple or a white flower. So if he has characters like one is having darker purple, another plant is having lighter purple, he used to get confused. So he took a plant which is very clear in the differences. Some seeds are round, some seeds are wrinkled. Either they are round, or they are wrinkled. There is no other thing. There is no other appearance. So, definite characters were very defined in that. You can easily understand whether the seed is wrinkled or not. Whether the pod, that pod means the fruit which is bearing the seeds. Like this, it is inside seeds will be. This is called as pod. The pod color is either yellow or it is green. So there is no intermediate. So easily used to understand the differences. So that means it has well-defined characters. Next thing about this plant is it is easy to grow. It does not require any special care to grow. So easy to grow. And one more important thing about this plant is it has bisexual flowers. Because it has bisexual flowers, it can be either self-pollinated or cross-pollinated. It can be either self-pollinated or cross-pollinated. Okay, bisexual plants are the flowers which have both female part as well as the male part. Okay, so how Mendel conducted experiments is, if he want to perform self-pollination, he selected this plant flower which is having both male and female parts, and he covered it so that no other, he tied a cover so that no other flowers pollinate it. It becomes self-pollination. But if he did not want a plant to perform self-pollination, what he did is, he took the flower, he cut off these parts, this male reproductive parts or anther and filament, which is called as a stamen. He cut off this part, he removed, this part he removed. Now, this plant should not get pollinated by any other. He tied a cover for this also. But when the flower is completely mature, he opened this cover, he pollinated this plant with the pollen grains from the plant he wants. With which plant he want to cross this plant? He brought that pollen grains, he put on this stamen stigma and covered it with cover again. Okay. Separately, if he wants self-pollination to occur, he did self-pollination only. If he did not want self-pollination and if he wanted that plant should have cross-pollinated, then he performed only cross-pollination. So he can choose that. That was the advantage of this pea plant. And he took 7 characters that are different in this pea plant. What are those 7 characters? It was not a small experiment, children. He nearly experimented on 10,000 different pea plants. "34 different varieties of pea plants he used to do experiments. 34 different pea plants, varieties of pea plants he used to do experiment. He did the experiment for 5 years, and during this time he experimented on 10,000 plants. So he has to wait till it flower. If you grow a small plant in the garden, you'll be very eager to know when the leaves will sprout. Even if the leaves have sprouted, you'll be very eager to know when is it growing the leaves, when it is growing branches. You'll be watching it every day. So understand about the patience of the scientist. He waited every plant. He was very careful to tie those small covers to each and every plant so that it is not pollinated by unwanted means, and he was very careful to observe, note down all the details, wait till it flowers, wait till the seeds come out. So all these were done with a lot of patience by this scientist. Okay, let us see what are the 7 different characters he has chosen. He has chosen seed color, seed shape, pod shape, flower color, flower position, length of the plants. So I said you they have well defined characters. So there were 2 variations for each of these characters he has chosen. Seed color was either yellow or green. Seed shape was either round or wrinkled. Pod color is either green or yellow. Pod shape is either inflated, that means fully like puff, fully blown. It looks like a very round, nice, fully blown structure. Or constricted, that means it's not fully blown like this, it is just pressed like that, in that seeds are present. It's not fully blown. Constricted structure this is. Flower color, either white or purple. Flower position, terminal or axial. Length of the plant, tall, dwarf. So he did experiments based on these characters. Before we move into the experiments conducted by this scientist, we need to have a very good understanding on what a gene is. So let us discuss what a gene is, then we'll come back to this topic. Okay, this is a topic that's already covered in your 9th class, but I'll give you a very quick review of the topic. You know that genetic material in our body is present in the nucleus is coiled like this. It is a helical structure which is having 2 strands. Okay, each strand has nitrogenous bases. Okay, like if you take for example, our body is made up of cells. Cells combine together to form tissues. Tissues combine together to form organs. So the basic structural and functional unit of our body is cell. Similarly, proteins are made up of smaller units called amino acids. Amino acids come together to form the complete structure of protein. Similarly, in case of this genetic material, this basic unit is nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous base assemble in sequence to make the genetic that double helical structure of DNA. Okay, so this is double helical structure. Why it is called? Because there are 2 strands of DNA. This is one strand of DNA and this is the second strand of DNA that is present. Okay, so since there are two strands that are running just parallel to each other, this is called as double helical structure. So the nitrogenous bases that are present on one strand are paired with the nitrogenous bases that are present on the second strand. So they are like this, always in paired form. Always they are paired with another nitrogenous base that is present on the other strand. So simply you can say that since they are nitrogenous bases and they are paired, you can call them as base pairs. The length of this DNA strand is defined based on number of base pairs. Okay, 100 base pairs, 1000 base pairs, like that. Length of the strand is defined on the units of base pairs. How many base pairs are present? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, this DNA is made up of base pairs, and the length of DNA is decided by base pair, number of base pairs. Okay, now gene is a part of DNA. Gene is a part of DNA which is responsible for one character in the organism. Okay, one character in organism. Suppose if you take skin color is a character in the organism that is defined by one gene. Okay, same like that. Your finger length, your fingers length, how much length they should be, it is decided by one gene that is present on that DNA, in the entire DNA. So the DNA is a completely set of genes. It is made up of many such genes. So you understand how many characters are there from top to end. It's only eye you take. Eyelids are defined by one character. Eyeball is defined by one character. So each character is decided by the gene. So the entire DNA that is present in our body is having smaller units called genes which decide the characters in our body. Whether our eyes should be small or big, our eyelid should be large or small, our eyeball should be in which color, eyebrow should be in which shape, the length of eyelids, how much it should be. All this, see, one eye I look at how many different features are there in a single eye. So for each one there is a gene. For each character of this there is a gene on the DNA. Okay, this gene can be as small as 10 base pairs, one minute, man, fill some ink. So this gene that is present on this, it can be as small as 100 base pairs. It can be as long as 1000 base pairs. Okay, 10 in the sense something around 27 is the smallest gene. 27, I'm not sure about it. So something around, I can't say it is 10, but it can be 100 base pairs, it can be 1000 base pairs. The largest one is something around 5000 base pairs. So not beyond that. So anywhere it can be, some genes are having only 200, some are having 300, some are having 400. Depending upon the character it is deciding, the length of gene varies. But it is having a limited structure. So there are so many genes on one genetic material of any organism. Okay, we have now you understand how long is the chromosome structure. See, if you are having 23 pairs of chromosomes, each chromosome is having a lengthy DNA. That DNA is having so many base pairs, in that so many genes are present. So it can decide so many things in our body, from cell size, cell structure, cells behavior, so many, which protein to be produced at what time. So there are so many characters in a body, and all those are decided by genes only. Okay. Only one thing you understand here, gene is a small part of DNA which decides character in the organism. Okay, now one more very important thing I'll say, you listen carefully. Each gene is made up of one pair of alleles. One pair of alleles. What is an allele? I'll say. Suppose this is one gene from here to here. It is made up of something around 30 base pairs. Let us assume it is made up of 30 base pairs. Okay. So this side also 30 bases are there. This side also 30 bases are there. This strand of DNA is responsible for one allele, and this is the second allele. Okay. So this is one allele and this is one allele. So two alleles come together to form a gene. Okay. The nitrogenous bases that are present on one strand of DNA that belong to one gene will make one allele. Okay. So you need not remember this lengthy definition. You just understand that every gene is made up of a pair of alleles. Even if they ask you in final exams, what is a allele? If they ask, one of the pair of characters, traits that are present in a gene. Okay, simply you can say that, or simply you can say that a gene is made up of a pair of alleles. Right here, gene is a small part of DNA that defines a character. Character is also called as trait. Okay, allele means a gene is made of pair of alleles. Okay. So, what are the experiments that are done by Mendel? To understand what are the experiments that are conducted by Mendel, we'll start in another class, children, because that should be started fresh. You can understand only that time. Okay. Till here, you read the textbook and try to understand the topic, children.
Okay, children, I hope you have followed today's video very well. If you have any doubts, you can definitely ask me through my personal number, through WhatsApp. Okay, children, I am leaving for today. Bye.